like we've watched an obscene amount of Total Divas in our house, and Cameron
Oh, me
is
too.
the most offensive person on that show, and it's full of offensive people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like she has absolutely no redeeming qualities other than she wants to be famous. That is her whole modus operandi. She's awful to that poor big lug that follows her around.
Oh, I know.
She's awful to everyone she gets involved with. The song she wrote is terrible.
Oh, it's worse.
It's
Ugh.
so that that moment, I'm sure, that moment where she goes for the slap and Asuka puts on the flipping armbar, it's fantastic.
It was so beautiful. And I mean, I think I said it last week, Cameron could be the Miz.
Yes. Have you ever heard of a documentary called Gaia Girls?
I feel like I've heard the name of it and haven't seen it.
It's a BBC documentary from like I think either the late 90s or early 2000s, and they go and film one of these like crazy dojos in Japan where they train female wrestlers, and they
Oh.
show like the absolute like brutal conditions they put these women through just for the chance to have a match, and like how like mentally, physically, psychologically they break them, in an effort to get one person that's actually going to be any good out of it. My plot for a WWE Network show is Total Gaia Girls, where
Oh.
we send Eva Marie and Cameron off to one of these brutal Japanese training camps, and they like eat the dog that she carries around in her handbag, and you know it,
That's now what I want to see more than anything else I want to see.
it,
Like in the world, that is the thing I want to see most.
uh, yeah, honestly, if you compare and contrast these sort of two representations of female wrestlers, Total Divas versus Gaia Girls, they are just polar opposites. I'm not saying the Gaia Girls way of doing things is right, but to see kind of your Eva Marie's and your Camerons, who, I mean, it sounds so like smarky and internet fanny. Sorry, that was
Internet fanny. That's Sunny's
yeah,
category
that was
there.
not what
Just
I meant to say, but it sounds, oh well, they've not paid their dues and blah blah blah, and that's not it at all, because Dana Brooke wasn't an independent female women's wrestler, but she at least looks like she's trying to get better at the job she has chosen
or
to
Alexa
do.
Bliss or Carmella,
Yeah, exactly. Whereas the Eva Marie's
Summer Rae.
and the Camerons of the world just come in, and like it was so bizarre to me, like in the season 5 episodes of Total Divas, that you've got kind of this plot where Eva's like, well, yeah, I guess I should learn to wrestle, and it's like,
Right?
how it's like shit. Like if you weren't a wrestling fan, wouldn't you assume that's what she was anyway? Like if you were just a Total Divas fan and you just watched it on you be surprised to learn that this girl doesn't do the job you thought she did for 5 years?
Right. Like it's really strange. And even when she was training with the Brian Kendrick, sorry, total divas aside, but even when she was training with the Brian Kendrick, she'd go home and be like, "Oh, this is so hard."
Yeah, when
Oh, and she'd whine about it. And it was like, "No, the point of this story is supposed to be you having your redemption and learning." And like the other girls are like, "No, you don't care about this." And I mean, Alicia Fox was a bitch about it, but like you're going home and going, "I don't know what I want to do because I don't know if I can do a finishing move." Like,
so I'll pick a really complex one and suck at it.
yeah, and everybody else will have to sort of lift me up ropes, and
Oh
that's not a good
God, yeah,
idea. It's not good. It's not good at all. And just everything about her is, I wanted her to be good when she re-debuted.
yeah.
I had high hopes. I was like, no, if she can prove everybody wrong, awesome. Great. I would love that. If she could, she's not going to be Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella's way too good for that. But
Mm.
like, you know what I mean, right?
If
Like,
she could have some basic level of competence where you thought actually she's really gone away and she's really tried, and there is a marked difference between what she was before and what she is now,
which is supposed to be the story, and instead she's forgetting to kick out of pins and
doing awful big
not knowing how to
boots.
put on arm bars. Like,
Yeah.
what even are you doing? Like, yeah, she was put on TV way too soon, but don't act like she's good. Just don't do it.
But in a way, then you just kind of wonder: are they just going to build us some match where like Asuka absolutely kills her, and that's the end of that story? Like, I don't think that's the
I
end.
hope
I
so.
don't think that's the end of that story. But if that is the end of that story, I'd be fine with that as a sort of tale. As this girl thought she could come in and do this, turns out, ha, she can't. But